What's up, YouTube fam? Another video here from Bolts and Boost. As you can see, I rearranged the cars. Before I get into the video though, I want to thank you for stopping by the channel. If you are into automotive stuff and shenanigans, be sure to check out the channel. I have a ton of cars on the channel, so I'm sure there's something there that'll tickle everyone's fancy. Now, on to today's video. I will be replacing the radiator in the STI. It is not broken, but they are known for the seal breaking between the plastic and the aluminum. Let me show you. And mine is kind of scary, but I think it's just spilt coolant, but I'll show you guys anyway. All right, hold on, just opening the hood. All right, so as you can see down there, it's getting kind of gunky, and I don't know if it's a slow leak. I don't think it is. I think it's just from filling, but either way, I'm gonna replace it. That way I can take this car anywhere. We were gonna take it to Vancouver here soon, and not quite Vancouver, but the West Coast. And this little thing in the back of my head saying, well, what if the radiator goes on the highway in the middle of nowhere and there's no service, which is common, no service and then in the middle of nowhere. So I'm just trying to be preventative. One less thing on the STI that'll go. I actually ordered one for the Forester too, so it's the same thing, right? The next thing on both of these cars, the STI and the Forester, that need done is the radiators. After that, I will have full confidence in both of them. These are the JDM models, so they are a lot less problematic than the USDM models. The EJ207 for sure, and the EJ205, as far as I can research. So, fingers crossed, let's get to this. All right, guys, car is in the air thanks to quick jacks. It literally took me 5 minutes. What a game changer these are. Totally recommend if you have the means to get them. They will change your life. All right, guys, she's cracked. These quick jacks make life so much easier. So, if you guys can check it out, there's the cap right there that you have to loosen. It is a pain in the neck to get to if you're just using a hydraulic jack, but it's super easy if you are using quick jacks. So we'll just let this drain out and start unbuckling the radiator. All right, guys, old rad is out and leaking everywhere on the floor. That's probably the hardest part about this job, is managing the leak if you're a clean freak like myself, and that's what we were able to get it down to. So still a mess, but granted, there's going to be a mess. So when you're in here, clean up as much as you can, because there's not much room in here when there's a radiator in front of you. So I gave everything a wipe. The hardest part about taking the radiator out, it's a very easy job, is draining the coolant, managing the mess. And these clips down here, there's an inch of give, 2 inches of give at best. And this one I got under the car. This one Tyler got from up top with a pick. So that's how we got them out. I used a flathead screwdriver for that and just twisted it. He used a pick for this one. And she came out pretty easy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean off this with a wire brush as much as I can. And we're going to start putting the Megan Racing radiator in here. So exciting. All right, guys, first difference I found so far is that the new radiator uses a 10 mil fine thread found on, every import basically. This was the factory screw that held on the fans. So just be aware, you're gonna have to get a pack of these. I'd say, if you don't have any, get 10 just in case. Luckily, I have a box full of them, so I'll be good too. Fans are bolted up. So far, so good. Absolutely no difference between the USDM, because obviously this is for a USDM, but the radiators might be exactly the same, and so far they are. So I've had no problems fitting this up to the tabs at the bottom. The only difference so far is I had to get those 10 mil bolts. Besides that, she's going on real nice. So I'm going to continue doing this, and hopefully we don't run into any issues. All right, friends, she is still easy to put in so far. I mean, nothing has snagged me, but I do want to mention a few things. When you put this in, This is a thicker radiator. It has a thicker top tank. So this hose almost touches the alternator pulley. And in one of my previous STIs, same engine, everything, I kept buying these hoses and it kept hitting here, and I didn't know because this was on at first, and then it would get pinhole leaks here. Nothing crazy, right? So it would just be a slow leak. So I was like, what the heck is going on? And then finally, when I was on the highway, it completely made a hole here. So be aware, when you put this radiator in, you have to cut about a 1/2 inch. For me, I did a 1/2 inch and it's perfect. The bottom one as well. The bottom one has to be cut as well because it's a little bit thicker. And then this hose, some USDM cars for some reason don't have this extra one here. I was watching some videos on this and they didn't have this and they just cap it off here. So luckily I had a silicone hose hanging around, and hopefully it doesn't snag on anything. Maybe I'll put something there. But yeah, it works fine. So that's what I did there. So just be aware of those few things, but so far so good. We're going to fill it up with coolant and then run it. Check for leaks. First 4-liter jug is in there, no leaks. I am going to throw this in there. This is water wetter. This basically makes the space, if I understand correctly, between the aluminum and the coolant smaller. So your engine heats up faster, but your engine stays cooler because it's closer to the radiator, if that makes sense, and closer to the aluminum heads and the block, etc. So I'm going to throw this in there. This is like 20 bucks here in Canada, but I've put it in cars before and amazing results. And yeah, so I'm going to throw this in here right now. All right, everything's in so far. Got some coolant up there. I'm going to start the car and put the heater on blast, let everything circulate for a bit and bleed the system as much as I can. Subarus do have a good system because this is usually the highest point here. So, but there's probably some air bubbles trapped in there, so let's try to get them out. All right, so we got some bubbles coming up. Obviously, it's working through the system. No leaks so far, so that means it's coming out of the system itself. I put the heater on blast, so we'll see how easy this bleeds. All right, I think she's done, guys. It hasn't went down below this level, and it's not really bubbling all that much anymore. There's some here and there, so I'm gonna let it run for a couple more minutes. Doesn't appear to be any leaks whatsoever. That's all old stuff. We confirmed that. I was underneath the car. So far so good. 2 thumbs up for the Megan Racing radiator. I really enjoy it. Easy to put in. Everything bolted up like factory. And if we come over here to the inside of the car, there's the temperature there. It's been running for probably 30 minutes now. Heat is cranked to recycle all the coolant in the heater core. And we're good to go. I got Tyler working on the radiator. I put him to work. He's slaving away at straightening the fans, doing a great job on that. So hopefully the Forester will be getting that installed pretty soon. But as far as the radiator goes for the STI, she's good to go, I think, guys. I will update you if there's anything that happens, God forbid. But that's all I have today. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. All right, everybody. Peace.